What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. Don't forget, today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. Link in the description below for all your latest transfer news, team news, to keep bang up to date during this season. Download the OneFootball app, link in the description below, QR code in the top right hand corner. Big up to OneFootball for supporting Shaw on tour in the US, people. Let's get into today's video. We've still got a day to go until the last friendly of the US tour against Barcelona over here in LA. Apologies to everyone for getting these videos out so late. Obviously there's an 8-hour time difference compared to the UK, so you know, it's first thing in the morning here now. It's the middle of the afternoon in the UK. Usually these videos would be out a lot earlier. But let's talk about transfers, people. The main headlines today. Two players that we have spoken about before, but links again. The main one today is Mohamed Kudus. Now, we've spoken about him before. Ajax attacking midfielder and right winger. Scored 14 goals last season for Ajax in all competition. Chelsea have been heavily linked with him in the past few days, but Arsenal starting to climb to the front of the queue again for Kudus. I think a lot of people have acknowledged Saka needs competition. He is a top player, but top players need to be pushed. They need to know you're not guaranteed a starting lineup place. You look at Manchester City, you look at the way Pep has rested or dropped Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo's. Haaland's pretty much the one that's played all the time, but you need that level of competition if you're going to be successful. Now, Mohamed Kudus is available, according to reports, for around £40 million. Arsenal are interested in him. They've liked him for a while. They were linked with him a few months ago as well. Obviously, Arsenal have a good relationship with Ajax. They've just done a Urian Timber deal. He plays with Thomas Partey for the Ghanaian national team. And apparently he's said before that he would be interested in a move to the Premier League. So, listen, for £40 million, I think it would be a good option. He's versatile. He can play attacking midfield. He can play on the right-hand side as well. He's quick, he's dynamic, he scores goals. And I think it's somebody that Arsenal should very much be looking at in this window. And for £40 million, you know, I think that's good value when you think how much a lot of these wingers are costing at the moment, people. So let me know in the comments. We did speak about him the other day, but would you make another move for Mohamed Kudus? Another player we're being linked with today. I don't know if this is just coincidence because we're playing against them tomorrow, but we're being linked with Spanish international winger, and that is Ferran Torres. We have been linked with him before. Torres, of course, former Manchester City winger, plays over there in Barcelona, and it's believed Barcelona want to get him off the books. Could be willing even to loan him with an option to buy at the end of the season. Ferran Torres, who scored a few goals for Spain in the World Cup, but it just hasn't worked for him since he did well at Valencia, got the move to Manchester City, did okay there, but Pep shifted him pretty quickly after 18 months. He's gone to Barcelona. It just hasn't really happened for him. The likes of Dembele, Rafinha are getting in those wide positions ahead of Ferran Torres. He's somebody to me that, listen, he's got an eye for a goal and he can finish. I find him very lightweight, if I'm being honest. I think he's a flimsy winger. And if you are lightweight like that, you've got to have something special about you to get yourself out of those situations. Like maybe you're really quick, you're really skillful, you've got an unbelievable pass. I don't think Ferran Torres has any of that. So listen, if you got him on loan, maybe. Again, he's another player that, I don't know if I'm wrong on this, I think he's better on the left than the right. So I'm not sure on that one. Barcelona are over here playing against Arsenal, so if they did want Ferran Torres, it's a great opportunity for them to talk to them and get the deal done. So let me know in the comments what you think about Ferran Torres on loan to Arsenal. It's just, for me, it's just a player, I don't know. I've always kind of felt like the Premier League doesn't work for him, but if Arsenal could get him on loan without having to spend big money, then maybe it's a deal that would suit them and it suits him. The Euros at the end of the season, he's going to want first team football, but I don't think he would get regular football at Arsenal anyway. So interesting. Ferran Torres, let me know in the comments. Now, we've got two big stories today regarding players leaving Arsenal. The first one is following Balogun. Now, Balogun trained separately from the rest of the team yesterday. We haven't heard anything about an injury. It's Mikel Arteta's press conference today. I will possibly be involved in that press conference, just waiting for confirmation. So hopefully I get to ask another question to Mikel Arteta. And Balogun trained away from the group, and it's believed that Inter Milan are getting closer to getting a deal done with Arsenal for following Balogun. I've spoken about this before. I went into detail yesterday saying part of me thinks, okay, he's unproven in the Prem. If you can get 40-50 million pounds, maybe. But then on the other hand, it's a 21-year-old who's come through our academy, who scored 20 plus goals in the French league. Should we be giving him a chance? I don't know. It's probably going to end up being irrelevant. Inter Milan closing in. He didn't train with the team yesterday. He trained by himself with an individual coach. Maybe Arteta will come out in the press conference today and say he's injured. But I think they've pulled him out because they're negotiating a deal with Inter Milan. He was an unused substitute against Manchester United in New York or New Jersey. So I think Balogun's time looks like it could be coming to an end, people. The final bit of transfer news today is that Nicolas Pepe is in talks with Arsenal about terminating his contract, terminating the deal. This is a player that cost £72 million, was our record transfer before the Declan Rice deal. He was in talks to go to Saudi, and where we would have got a small transfer fee. He hasn't been able to agree terms with that club, and it's believed now Arsenal are talking about terminating the contract purely to get him off the wage bill. Has a year left on his contract, and clubs are saying, look, we're struggling. If he goes to any club in Europe, they're going to struggle to pay his wages. It's 130 grand a week. Unless he gets a move to one of the big clubs, they're not going to be able to pay his wages. And at the moment, none of the big clubs are in for Nicolas Pepe. I've got to be honest, if Nicolas Pepe gets his contract terminated, I think all of a sudden you'll see big clubs come in for him, because on a free transfer, you would possibly take him. You know, so don't be surprised if Pepe ends up at a big club on a free. But I think it's really poor business. Listen, I know he hasn't done brilliant on loan, so maybe it's difficult to get big money for him. But, you know, I'm seeing Chelsea sell Pulisic, who hasn't been great for them. You know, just these examples of players and wingers who haven't been great, and clubs have still managed to pick up 20 million, 30 million for a player that's been out of form. I mean, I'm not being funny, no disrespect. Kai Havertz hasn't been good for the last 3 years. We've just paid £65 million for him. But hey, it is what it is. Let's not talk about Kai Havertz. People who say, you've got an agenda. Anyway, Nicolas Pepe looks to be on his way out, in talks with the club about terminating his contract. And that will be the end of the Nicolas Pepe saga. You know, we've been having discussions. Should Arsenal be bringing Pepe back and using him as a squad player, as that second choice right back to push Saka? But I just think there is a clear lack of connection between Nicolas Pepe and Mikel Arteta, and maybe the style of football just doesn't suit him. So Nicolas Pepe, Arsenal of course have a real bloated squad at the moment. You look at players like Tavares, Lokonga, Cedric, Austin Trusty, Pepe. There are a number of players, you know, Alex Renarson. These players need to be shifted. I think Holding's going to be on his way as well. Elneny probably not. He signed a new deal, but there are a number of players that could be sold during this window. Willy Eddie and Ketia as well. Listen, people, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate your fantastic support. We're getting great numbers on the daily shows. Lots of interaction in the comments. As I said, I'm hoping to be in the press conference today and have some access behind the scenes at the game tomorrow night as well. Thank you for your patience with the late videos, and thank you for all the positive comments regarding the Emile Smith-Rowe chat that I had with him in the mix zone after the game. So yeah, it's been great so far. What a brilliant trip. Beautiful city of LA, lovely sunshine again. Thanks for all the fan love out here. Big up to everyone tuned in. Like the video, subscribe, download the OneFootball app, link in the description below, and I'll see you all soon, people. Bless.